Sabaho everybody and welcome back to the channel. The beta is finally over for the P20 Pro. We have our official release of EMUI 9.0 with Android 9.0 for our P20 Pro. This is TK, let's check it out. The last time we talked about the P20 Pro in the beta, that was about September or so, and that was when the first beta started to come out, and there's been some updates since then. We finally have the official release. Now, I am using the FunkyHuawei service, and I'm going to show you guys real quick a quick video here. Essentially, it's an e-recovery type service that enables me to be able to use firmware builds, official firmware builds from Huawei to be able to load on my device, in case basically I don't want to wait for the actual update to push through. This is going to come up as an OTA at some point if you're running EMUI 8.2. So overall, you don't necessarily have to use the method I did, but this method that I'm showing you guys right there is very simple. You jump into recovery and you select the firmware, the correct firmware on their website from FunkyHuawei. And as long as you have enough credits, you'll be able to basically flash this on your device. It does not wipe your device. It does not delete any of your data. It pretty much just updates it as if you received an OTA. With the exception of the fact is you're not actually having to wait for that OTA. Once that process is done, you pretty much the device will reboot and then you log into it the same way you have before and you're pretty much set. So the update process was very simple as I showed you guys. I'm still able to, obviously, all my information is still here, the applications that I have installed, everything I have in here. Actually, I still even have Nova Launcher as far as the Prime Launcher, but I switched it back to the EMUI home, mostly just to show you guys what it kind of looks like here between the two. So this is basically EMUI 9.0 compared to EMUI 8.2. You will notice basically the arrangement for the most part is very nice. It's black. We have the black theme in here. This is an OLED panel, so that's why we have this in here. And of course, we're able to go into settings and the categorization has changed. We still have access to be able to log into your Huawei ID. So if you have that, it goes into the top. Of course, suggestions. And of course, the categorization has changed a little bit, but overall, let's go into about. So my device is the CLT-L29 EMUI 9.0 on Android 9.0 with the version 9.0.0.163. The last build that I had on here was the same thing, except for it was 108. So it's a big jump in number, but now we have officially all the numbers and all the actual specifications that we expect from EMUI 9. As I mentioned to you guys, the information for me did not get wiped. I didn't lose anything. All my applications are still installed. Fact of the matter, actually, I still have Nova installed as a primary launcher, but I converted it back here for the video just to show you guys, just from an aesthetic point of view, EMUI 8.2 to EMUI 9.0. The first big difference that you notice is not really even apparent. If you click in here and go into the clock, you'll notice right there under alarms, they made everything basically more unison as far as the aesthetics and the design principles, but it's actually just very simple. You can just swipe between clock, stopwatch, and timer, and you can see for the most part that, you know, they kept the same aesthetics. And of course, you can change from digital to analog. Not to say that this was wrong, but the overall aesthetics, it looks like it was just not cohesive enough. We do have gesture support here, and I'll talk to you guys a little bit more. I'm using the off-screen gestures using the fingerprint sensor, and that was built directly into EMUI 8.2. Now, in the beta, we did not get the full screen gestures that we saw, let's say, on the Mate 20 Pro one, the one that showed all over the place. So I'm going to share with you guys now that we do have that here. Finally, I'm very happy about that. Of course, CES, Mobile World Congress is talking, and under system, we go into system navigation. We now have a few options. We have gestures, which is what I'm going to show you guys in a second. We have off-screen navigation, which is what I'm currently using with the fingerprint sensor. And essentially is press and hold, takes me home. I can swipe around and basically be able to get into Recents app. It's very functional, but the main difference, of course, is that we're using that fingerprint sensor all the time. I'd love to be able to get some of the gestures that we saw on the Mate 20 Pro. And that's what we have here. We still have single key navigation. That's the little pill that shows up at the bottom. We have the 3-key navigation with the home, recent, and back. And of course, navigation dock that just basically puts a pop-up in the middle of the screen. You can use that to control your device. But the one I'm really excited about is here. This is the navigation gesture that we saw with the Mate 20 Pro. You have the ability of going back by sliding from the right and left, and then from the bottom, going up takes you home. And of course, one more time, press and hold will take us into the Recents app. So first and foremost right now, Recents, this is my back, and this is my going back into the Recents app. And we're gonna basically go back here. We're going to change that in here, and let me see if did I actually just change it yet? No. We're going to go ahead and switch over to the navigation, and then at this point I'm just going to start using it. So here's the Google Play Store. I can actually swipe back, bring it up and holding brings me into the Recents app. Of course, I can close all of these applications, or I can just switch between different applications. So gestures are definitely very nice, very supported. The dark theme UI is still there. The new icons and the setup that we have here is very nice. Of course, screen recording, wireless projection is here, so we have wireless projection now on the Mate 20 Pro. And I'm going to show you guys a real quick video right now that I've done with the Magic 2, showcasing how to use wireless projection to basically project EMUI 9.0 basically desktop from your phone to a smart TV that's enabled to be able to basically just use EMUI desktop without even having to use a wire. Very nice, very easy, very simple to use. And again, built in here directly the EMUI 9, now with the official release. Next thing we're going to go through here, the categorization are pretty much the same. You have the EMUI, your ID application. You can log in with it, and then of course make sure you sync up your information. Adding a second email account, wireless and networks. You have basically mobile network, dual SIM support. This is a dual SIM device, so you can manage it there. Home screen and wallpaper. This is going to be the categorization now of all your themes, your magazines, your wallpapers, as well as home screen style. I have the drawer option. You can go to the, obviously without it, show recent step count, and always on display is also supported. So you can definitely turn on always on display if you'd like. And actually, if we go in here, we can turn it on and set up the different information. I'm going to keep it off for now, but definitely very nice. Under the display, we have a few options. We have the ability, obviously, turning on eye comfort, sleep after 10 minutes. That's just my setting here. Text display and size. Screen resolution is under smart, so you can turn that on so that it can jump between full HD to 720p to save battery for you, or you can basically set it to be specifically at one resolution. Under more display options, we have the ability of hiding the notch if you would like to, screensaver, auto rotate, display carrier name if you'd like, and then of course display network speeds if you'd like to show those things. Always on display, you can actually jump into that if you'd love to, but overall it's pretty simple. And then of course you have simple mode if you'd like to turn that on. Sound is pretty much self-explanatory. All the options that you have for sound. Under more sound settings, you can go in there and dump and basically configure the rest of the stuff. Now, the other thing I want to make sure you guys are still aware of, we still have Dolby Atmos support here. So for sound quality, you're definitely not going to be disappointed here. Although we don't have a 3.5mm headphone jack, with the adapter, you'll be able to basically get great audio. Notifications, pretty simple. App badges, lock screen notification, and then more notification settings. You can go in there and customize them. Applications, pretty much what we had in the past. App Twins is installed. You can just need to turn it on and set it up for your applications. Right now, I only have Facebook and Messenger on this, so you can definitely turn those on. But if you have, let's say, WhatsApp, some other applications, they'll support them. Default apps, all supported, and you are still able to switch over your home screen. Now, I have Nova installed, and that's normally what I use. But I wanted to switch over for you guys here under the drawer home. So just make sure that you have whatever launcher that you'd like, go in here and set it as the default, and you're pretty much set. And you can do the same thing for all the rest of the other applications. Now, the battery section is a little bit different than what we had in the past. We have optimized battery use, performance mode, power saving mode, and ultra power saving modes. Those are normal. App launch, of course, battery usage to see how your battery's been doing, power consumption detail, of course, battery percentage. If you'd like to be able to add that up there to the percentage, you'll see it right there. And the darken interface mode is what you're seeing here, essentially getting a darker interface for AMOLED displays so you can save battery. Storage is pretty much the same thing. Digital balance is definitely new and it's really nice. So we have it started to work. And of course, I just installed this on it, so I don't have a lot of history going on for us. But the short answer is that you can manage and see how your usage of applications and screen on time and how many times you unlock your device, all of that built into the device. So digital balance essentially is the digital well-being that we have on the Pixel devices having here on our Huawei phones. Now, security and privacy, obviously, this is where we'll be able to set up our fingerprint ID, our face recognition with the front-facing sensor, lock screen password, app lock, private space, as well as file save are all under the security and privacy settings tab. Of course, Find My Phone, I have that on. And of course, security update as of November 1st, as that's basically the latest update that we have from them. Now, it is November 30th today as when the video is going live. So again, really cool. We finally are up to date with the official build. Now, under smart assistants, we have accessibility, high touch, one-handed UI, motion control, and voice control. So one-handed UI, the ability of turning on mini screen view, and of course, splitting the keyboard. Motion control, the ability of turning on the flip, pick up, raise to ear, take screenshot, open camera. So those knuckle gestures, you can also turn those on if you'd like. Voice control, of course, to be able to take pictures or answer a call. We do have high touch, as I mentioned to you guys in the beginning. That's that service that uses the search functionality within the phone, similar to Google Lens, built in and functioning here. And of course, scheduling on and off, and as well as glove mode in case you install a glass screen protector, you're having a little bit of a latency on the touch response. Under system, we have about phone software, the gestures, the navigation gestures as I showed you guys, language and input, date and time. Phone clone is a really cool application, but again, it's just basically the same one we've had in the past. That gives us the ability of transferring our data from our old phone to a new one. Now, on the camera form front, of course, now we officially have the final version of all of this stuff. So the camera application is pretty similar to the way we've had it in the beta. So if you scroll all the way to the bottom, we have aperture. That just gives us the ability of basically controlling the aperture and the bokeh effect on an image. Night mode for great nighttime photography, and of course, portrait mode. That's just, again, more focus on your subject and then doing basically that depth of field that you normally would expect. So everything in the background will be blurred and everything in the foreground will be very, very much in focus. Photo is pretty much the standard view. We don't have HDR. I don't see a toggle for that, even if when I switch over to the front-facing camera, but we do have the lenses, the ability of basically creating different options here. So let's go back into video and we'll go photo. And again, just, you'll get the different options. You'd still have the ability of going in 1x, 3x, and then 5x optical, and then obviously the hybrid zoom that they have here. And of course, you can switch over to monochrome. You have the option of doing live photo, flash, different modes, and of course into settings, we have the resolution of 4:3, so we can go all the way to 40 megapixels on the back, or we can stick to the 10 megapixel and essentially just get really good pictures. And of course, we can go down to the 18:9 at the 7 megapixel size. Master AI is here, of course, supported by the NPU with the Kirin 970. Finally, we have EMUI 9.0 officially on our P20 Pro. FunkyHuawei yesterday released some tweets saying basically that different variants of the P20 Pro is receiving this update. So if you have a P20 Pro and you haven't received your update yet over the air like a normal OTA, make sure you check out that link in the description below, as they have a process to get you installed, upgraded to EMUI 9.0 officially now. Now, these are official builds. These are not modified files, so you're getting pretty much the same thing as that OTA that would have come at some point in the future. Typically, updates or OTAs take some time and they're usually staged rollout. So for me, I couldn't wait for that update to come through. I was very happy. I went from the beta EMUI 9.0 to a final build very easily using the e-recovery, and none of my data was wiped. So let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think? Do you have a P20 Pro or any other Honor devices that you're looking or still waiting for, obviously, to get the EMUI 9.0 officially released on it? Definitely very happy. Gestures, wireless display, those things I saw on the Mate 20 Pro that I just wanted to get on the P20 Pro, and we finally have it. Like and subscribe as usual. Thank you very much for the support. Let me know what you guys think about this video and share it with any of your friends that have an Honor or a Huawei device. Hopefully this will inspire them to just keep checking, and hopefully they'll be able to get their EMUI 9.0 update very soon.